Hello friends, welcome to Marsha Creatives, and today we are going to learn about the type tool. So before we dive in, kindly ensure to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more informative content. So as you can see on my screen here, I have an artboard. This is an artboard of 1920 by 1080 in size. It is RGB color mode, and today we are going to learn more about the type tool. So the type tool is a tool that appears on our toolbar. On the left hand side we have, this is our type tool. So the type tool enables us to add text on our artboard, that is on our design. So for us to add text on our artboard, we need the type tool. The type tool enables us to add text either horizontally or vertically. If you click and hold on the type tool, we have the horizontal type tool and the vertical type tool. The shortcut to the type tool is letter T on your keyboard. So I'm just going to click on the horizontal type tool, then just click anywhere on my artboard, and as you can see, if I zoom in, you get this, the lorem ipsum example that appears right there. So if it's too tiny, you can't see it, just come on top here and change the font size to something big. So as you can see, so if I type anything here, it will just appear immediately on my artboard. So I'm going to type Marsha Creatives. So as you can see, so it takes this color, since the color is blue right here. So if you want to change this color, you can just use the swatches panel. Then you can change the font style and the font weight right here, and then you can change the paragraph, if you want to align the text center or to the left or to the right. So I'm just going to check this, so that now if I go back to my move tool, I can click and drag this anywhere. Again, I can use this the anchor points at the corners to click and drag to increase the font size. So you can do that to increase the font size. You can access the properties panel, but to also alter this text. Maybe you want to change the font, you want to change the weight, you want to change the font size, you want to change the layout. You can just come to your properties panel right here. Here it is. If you do not have your properties panel, just come to your window and check properties right here. Ensure it's checked, then you will have this panel. Ensure you have your text selected, that is on your move tool. Ensure you have your text selected, then access your properties panel. Then from here we can change our font. So we can change that maybe to Times New Roman. You can change to any font that you want. As you can see, you can just pick the font that goes for you. Then right here you can change the weight of your font right here. So for now it's on regular. That font does not have a family, so let me pick a font that has a family, like Poppins. So if you click on this drop down, you'll get all this. This is the weight of the font. So you can click on bold, you can click on light, you can click on italic, depending on how you want your text to appear. So that is how you can again increase the letter spacing right here. So you can just click and drag, and you will get not here literally, this is line height. So if you want to increase the letter spacing, you use this one here. As you can see, the letter spacing, that is how you alter with the letter spacing. So you can just put a value or just click and drag right here. Or this is the line height. If we have text that goes to the next line, let me push that to the next line. So as you can see, these texts are overlapping each other. So how do you increase that line height? You increase it using this here. You click and drag, or just give a value on this bar, let's say 150, and press enter. Then immediately you will get that line height right there. Then this first bar is the font size. You can give any font size. Let's say we want to give it at 200 and press enter. Then our font size increases, or you can reduce that to 100. So that's how you change the font size on your properties panel, you can also change the font color right here, where you can just use the picker to click on any color, or you can just use your swatches here to, as you can see, you can use your swatches to click on any color that you need. So if you go down on the properties, you can either align it center. As you can see now, this text is aligned to the center. You can align to the right like that, or you can align to the left like this. So that is how you align your text. So I'm going to align it center, then I'm going to scroll down. So if you want all your text to be caps, you can just, as you can see, this is all caps. If I uncheck that, you can see now it has changed from all caps. So that's how you alter with the text. You can, maybe you want your text to be a type small caps, you can check that and uncheck this. Yeah, depending on how you want your text to appear. You can also strike a line through the text, so you can see like that. You can give it an underline, there it is. You can give it a superscript or a subscript. So you can see that is a subscript and this is a superscript. Yeah, so that's exactly how you alter with your text. Yeah, so that is the type, that's the type layer. Let me remove these effects. Yeah, I can leave it on underline and all caps. So another thing that we are going to learn, maybe you want your text to run vertically from top to bottom. So you just come to your type tool, click on vertical type tool, click on where on your artboard and start typing. So I'm going to type the same thing, Marsha Creatives, like that. Then I'm going back to my move tool, click and drag it. So there it is, it's running from top to bottom. You can increase the size like that, or you can just use you have to check first, then you can just use your properties to change the color. You can change the font size, you can change the line height, the letter spacing, you can also change the weight, and you can also change the font, the type of font, the font family that is. Then another thing about the type tool is how to put effects on your text. So last time we learned about layers. If you haven't checked our lesson about layers, you can go back to the previous video. We have a video on this channel about layers in Photoshop. So on our layers, we have this first layer that contains this text here, and we have our second layer that contains this text that has been highlighted by this border, the blue border. So I want us to add effects on this text. So how do we add effects on a text? So as I said, you always have to dive into the style panel. So just double click on the layer. Now we have our layer style panel. So on this layer style panel, we have all these effects. So you are going to style your text depending on how you want to, whatever you want to add on your text, depending on the effect that you want to add. For instance, we can say we want to add a drop shadow on the text. So as you can see, it has already appeared here. So let me first drag this to the right so that we will be able to see toggle the visibility. Yeah, we talked about that in the layers class on how to toggle the visibility of layers on our project. So I'm going back to the layer style. Just double click on that layer. And now we have our layer style. Ensure preview is checked so that any changes that you make on your styles, it appears immediately. So if I uncheck the drop shadow, you can see it's not there. So I'm going to check that, the drop shadow, then I'm going to click on it. So now in case you alter all these functions and see you don't know how to go back, just reset to default, and yeah, it's going to reset to default. So the drop shadow here, you're going to pick the color. We mostly use black for drop shadows. Then this is the opacity. You can increase the opacity or reduce it. Then the blend mode, you're going to choose your blend mode. You can use any depending on how you want your text to appear. So for me, I'm going to click normal. I'm going to increase the distance. As you can see on my preview, the things that are changing, they're changing in real time, as you can see. So that is how you add effects. So like that is a 3D like effect on a text using the drop shadow. So again, I'm going to uncheck this, then I'm going to click on stroke. I'm going to check stroke. Stroke gives a color, a stroke color around the text. So I'm going to change this from white to not red, because it's already on red, to black. So as you can see, it has already appeared. Then on the size, you're just going to, if you increase the size, it increases the stroke size. So you're going to place that depending on how you want it to be. Here you're going to place it, either you want it inside, or you want the stroke inside the text, or you want the stroke to appear outside. So we mostly use outside, or you can place it at the center. So outside, then this is the blending mode. You can use dissolve, you can use as you can see, that is light. So you just pick the blending mode that suits your design. So mostly I use multiply or normal, because I do not like adding too much effects on text. So, and this is now the opacity. So you place your size here, choose your blending mode right here, place the position or inside, center, or outside. Then now you choose your color. Then this is the opacity of the stroke. As you can see, this was black, but now the opacity makes it to be a bit grayish in color. So depending on how you want it to be. So let's go to inner shadow. So this is another effect that enables you to add effects on a text. So this is the blending mode as always, and these effects repeat themselves. They're almost the same. This is the color, the blending mode color. So I want us to play along, as you can see. So this is the inner shadow. You are creating a shadow inside the text. So as you can see, it has already appeared. So you just drag on these bars here until it makes a shape that is good for you. Yeah, something like that looks nice. Then this is the angle. You can change the angle. As you can see, it's changing depending on where this angle is placed. Then you can add the noise. The noise makes the text, like, it makes the effect to have some dotted stuff. That's what the noise does to the text. So yeah, that's all about the type tool, and about adding effects on the type tool. So you can explore the other effects like texture. The texture works inside the bevel emboss, so you can just try and explore as many as possible. Then try and see how they work with your text. You can see this is working. Yeah, there it is. So that is, you are trying to add a certain texture on your font. So that's how you play along with the type tool. So that's it for today's, guys. Ensure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can share this content, and yeah.